catching diamonds in the rain, letting precious water through the drain. Stars were dancing in their light, paths that we could never ride. Oh, they were dancing way up high. We built these walls so we could find who could prove themselves through the waves of time. We're trying to repent before you sin. It's like giving up before you begin. Stars were dancing in their light, paths that we could never ride. Oh, they were dancing way up high. Stars were dancing in their light, future we will never ride. Dirt on our feet was bone dry, it was bone dry. Thought another goal is all we needed, taking second chances till we bleed. And when all the love had been depleted, we had but no choice to concede. As the stars were dancing in their light, paths that we could never ride. Oh, they were dancing way up high. Stars were dancing in their light, future we will never ride. Dirt on our feet was bone dry, it was bone dry. everything around me is starting to tumble up. Don't tell me you're hurt again, tell me how wrong I am, tell me how it's all my fault. Yeah, I've met my match again, starting from scratch again. Where's the pleasure in all this pain? Don't you lie to me, say it's all okay, when it feels like I'm drowning. I hate to say goodbye, but it's time to go. All I need is someone else. I've never felt more divided than now. Every word that leaves your lips never means how it sounds. You've conquered the best of me, could have just set me free. The games that you play are just second hand. And now I'm beside myself, no one your fucking hell. Let me just go, let me just go. And don't you lie to me, say it's all okay, when it feels like I'm drowning. I hate to say goodbye, but it's time to go. All I need is someone else.
Welcome to Championship Thursday? Yes, that's right. Championship Thursday is here, and it is the Pinnacle Cup of the Ascent Tournament Series Season 6 Solo Series Championship. I know the on-screen graphics say Ascension Cup. It's not. It's Pinnacle Cup here, the top of the top. The cream of the crop, the best of the best here. And joining me here, CherryJ and Nick NCS. As you take a look at our bracket here, this is it. 8 players have competed in the Pinnacle Cup final bracket out of the 10 that began. Now only 2 remain in our top division. We've already crowned 5 Solo Series champions this season. Tonight, we will see our 6th and last, Ajashi and Perscope in the grand finals. One more best of 7 to determine who will take the crown, who will be among the 6 that win, and the best of the best in what ATS has to offer in 1v1 talent. CherryJ, it's been a pretty eventful final bracket here, but that top of the bracket has definitely seen a lot closer matches in the bottom part. But both these players have had their scares. They've had good matches, they've had bad matches, but what I think we can both agree on is that we're bound for a great night here.
Yes, when we take a look at these playoffs, obviously Ajashi, a massive player who's come through and through when it comes to their quarterfinals, semifinals, and was a favorite to win this tournament, but Ajashi slammed them down to the depths of the bracket as they fell through. Now they face off against Perry to see who will be crowned Grand Championship of the Pinnacle Cup. Now, when you look towards Perry, they had a bit of a kind of Cinderella run, right? They were not kind of expected to make it this far within the bracket. However, in the end, they were still able to make it work despite how good Ant has been, despite how good Ajashi has shown themselves. See who's able to find a victory in this semi or grand final, sorry. As obviously Ajashi is certainly going to be a favorite, but there's obviously opportunity as well as Perry coming with a 7+ game differential. Definitely nothing to take lightly, Sporty.
No, definitely not. As you said, nothing to take lightly here. Again, +7 in the regular season. They actually ended up as a 2nd seed, so they actually were expected to go through to the finals. We were expecting to see Perscope here, but you're not wrong in that it wasn't fully guaranteed. But especially with Taco Stash and Slasher, whoever won that, were playing against them. It was going to be a close match either way. Perscope got Slasher, was able to take them down 4-2 on this channel. For Ajashi, a must-start side of the bracket. They had to start off against Slayer, the captain of Pause Up, who right now is currently waiting in the top 8 of the Siraxis Networks Inc. Pinnacle Cup. So for our 3v3 side, but for Ajashi, it was Ant who they had to see in the semifinals. Edge had the top player in this bracket, the only player in the regular season to go undefeated. But Ajashi took him down, and they took them down actually rather cleanly too. It was 4-1. It was not a very long series. It was rather impressive for Ajashi, and really what makes Ajashi a scary player, even though they've mentioned before how much they do not like playing against players like Ant, is that they've got really good fundamentals. This is a confident player and a player who's got really good fundamentals. They're not going to be nearly as airborne as Perscope, I would assume, in this bracket. What they are going to do is they're going to take your boost, they're going to keep you up back on defense, and they're going to be clinical on the shooting. So expect Ajashi to be just that, clinical and strong. And for Perscope, even though by seeding they're the favorite, I think most people, if you were to ask them coming into this bracket who they had as winning, you would not be surprised to see a lot of people say Ajashi as the player that was likely to win this entire bracket. I mean, Ant and Ajashi seem like the 2 players that most people had as winning this whole thing. As an analyst, they were my top 2 players in this bracket. Perscope, very good player. Definitely, I would consider an underdog, even if the seeding favors them, just due to the fact that of just what we know about how good an Ajashi and Ant are. But one thing that Perscope does have that Ajashi doesn't is experience. This is Ajashi's first season ATS, and they are only playing in the 1v1 division. They're really mostly a 1v1 player. Perscope is a very well-rounded player. They play freeze and twos. Freeze especially has been kind to them, as they have won the league, the 3v3 Pinnacle Cup in the last 2 seasons on Hernox Night. They've won in the Paradise Cup 3 as well, in between both of those. Perscope's won ATS 3 times with 3 different tournaments, 2 in the league, 1 not. This would be a 4th championship for them. No one, the only people that have won as much as Perscope has are his teammates on Hernox Night, in Jared, who has won just as many times as he has. So, and Manny Alar, who I think has also won the 3 times as well. For Perscope, he's won a bunch. He's played even more. He's got those championships. If he were to win tonight, he would be the winningest player in ATS, having 4 championships. With experience, Perscope's very good in playoffs, very good in grand finals, very good in this position. I don't expect them to be too nervous, to be too concerned.
And when it comes to nerves, having those championships behind you certainly will play a big part in how you're going to be able to approach this game, right? Even if you go down game number 1, you still will have that confidence more likely than not in order to be able to take it into game number 2. Find that comeback. And it's like you said, the firepower coming off of both of these players is insane, as they have shown great work consistently being able to make themselves championships in their own right. And whether or not it's 3v3s, 2v2s, we'll see who will find success in the 1v1s, as those culminations of different game modes being able to find its endpoint here in the grand finals of the final season of the ATS solos. We'll see who will be able to find this success. Right now, though, honestly, Sporty, I'm not sure who's going to be able to get it. You're not sure who's going to be able to get it, because there's so much riding on both these teams, right? There's experience, there's strength and firepower. Both of these two things are going to be massive importance, and those pieces of the puzzle will need to come together and culminate in a final success. And who will be able to do that? My vote's on Joshi, right? That firepower that they've been able to bring, their success in fundamentals, whether it's going to be knowing where they need to be, switching to going for some aggressive plays to try and find early. So much opportunity that they do have, and what they're going to be able to get with some of these really successions is going to be looking for those boost steals, right? That's going to be a big thing that I'm looking for. As we saw on, I believe it was Sunday, that was a massive kind of play that really did kind of translate into a lot of game wins. If you're able to find a good boost steal, take that 100, able to kind of get that speed on your opponent, make them fall in the dust, and you're able to steal away another goal. That's something that I think will happen, right? Because as you said, fundamentals is a big thing for some of these players, and realistically, if they get too aggressive, then that can be easily capitalized on.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned before about that aggression, about taking chances in the grand finals. It comes down to measured opportunities, measured chances here. As we are right now having some technical issues with one of the players. We're going to get this match started soon, but we are having technical issues. That's why we're waiting a little bit longer here to begin our series. But as things stand, you mentioned it, taking measured risks, knowing what you can and cannot do. And you mentioned it, a lot of players that have lost in our grand finals are players that maybe got nervous, that took too many chances, that overpushed their luck, went for too many solo efforts. That's something that could happen here with Briscoe. I think Briscoe's a player who's more willing to take those kind of chances and maybe have a little bit more of disregard for those recoveries. So I think that's really a possibility. But at this level, especially with how good these players are at 1v1s, I don't expect that to be super likely, but it is possible. And you mentioned it before, especially if you feel the pressure, that's going to happen. So it's absolutely possible. These players are very capable of making those kind of mistakes. And you said it, those can decide matches. But we mentioned before, again, that Briscoe being the underdog in this matchup, both of us think that they're the underdog in this matchup. Being an underdog, you know, and being in that position where you're playing against someone who a lot of people think are going to beat you, who you may even think that might be the higher ranked player at this point. I got to ask you, Cherry, you know, if you were the underdog, if you were Briscoe, what's the game plan to come into this matchup? Not necessarily how to beat Joshi, but how to keep yourself in this matchup, how to keep yourself in the battle so that you can take a couple games against Joshi and put them on the back foot.
Early success is going to be the requirement, right? You need to be able to win off kickoffs, and if you can do that, it certainly should be able to lead and translate into a couple more goals going your way. We'll see whether or not that will be a possibility, as right now we are still going to be waiting for these players to get on started, as I'm looking forward to seeing what these kickoffs can contain, right? Do they go for some really early mischievous plays and just fake the kickoff, look to try and steal that ball right away? That's certainly going to be a possibility, especially depending on where they will start off in terms of the locations that they do possess. But right now, I'm just going to be looking forward to it, right? I don't know if you have any kind of predictions whether or not they will try and make anything crazy happen. If they go for a delayed kickoff, try and make a complete fake out. There's so many opportunities for them to be able to instantly get those nerves of steel out and just showcase their power on full display by going for some crazy plays.
Yeah, you're going to see it, guaranteed. At this level, players are pretty good at that.
But imagine
it just
like right
comes down. Oh no, I know what you mean. Like off the kickoff, like
yeah. I
strategy
think that'd be
changes.
really fun.
No, you're absolutely going to see that. I mean, you are not going to win at this rank level without being able to adjust your strategy on the fly, especially with a match that is a best of 7. It's a long series. If you're unable to make adjustments, if you start off badly, as we've seen before, players that can't make adjustments, if they start off really badly, it does not go well for them. We've seen a bunch of sweeps, and that's because a lot of players don't know how to adapt that well, especially under pressure. It's very tough to do that. that's not going to really be the case here with these players. They should be able to adapt. They should be able to manage that pressure. They should be able to be just fine as things stand. So, again, I don't expect this to be a matchup where we, I think, see necessarily players unable to adapt. I think it just comes down to your ability. Your ability, is that going to be what takes over? Because the one thing that you can't adapt to that easily is the fundamentals. If your fundamentals are better than the other player, you're almost always going to win. You're going to win these matches. So I think in a fundamental clash, if one player is better than the other, that's why I think this match becomes one-sided, not necessarily based on a strategy change.
Right now, I'm looking towards those adjustments that, as you mentioned, are very impactful to how they can progress this game forward. If you can succeed in delivering that punchline to your opposition, show them that this game is yours to win. Show them that this game is going to be yours to find the impact, to secure those early goals, and then translate that into a couple wins. Right? If you can be able to really come forth in these game ones, game twos, that's where it's really going to start to showcase a lot of dominance. And I'm really thinking that whoever's winning this first game will likely be able to secure the win.
Yeah, oftentimes you see the first game really determine a matchup here, but that's not always been the case. I mean, we saw like not too long ago, Zanestar win their matchup after losing game 1 in the grand finals of the Catalyst Cup. So it's absolutely possible, but I do agree for you, and especially for Perscope. Again, I mentioned they're the underdog, and one of the things that underdogs must, in my opinion, must do to really give themselves a good shot at winning is win game 1. As an underdog, if you win game 1, you already put that kind of seed of doubt into your opponent, and you can build off of that. If you can't start off well, your opponent now has the idea, now knows, one, that they can beat you, which is obviously very important, but also they have that advantage in that they've already taken a game off you. They have that momentum. That's something that you really can't let a lot of opponents do. Now, if you can beat them without giving up a win to them, that's huge, because now you sort of tell them, whether it be intentional or not, that they may not have what it takes to take you down. They may not have the ability to beat you. So for Perscope, they need that. But against Ajoshi, that's not really likely. Ajoshi is a pretty confident player. There's someone that has lost a good couple times this season in terms of just losing games and losing matches. This is someone who knows what it's like to get beat down and to bounce back. Winning game 1 won't necessarily win it for Perscope, but really, what I want to see from Perscope is the ability to start off well and to keep up with Ajoshi, keep games close. If they can keep games close, that ability of having played in matches previously and having won championships previously, a lot of them, might allow them to, when the pressure gets high, to perform as they need to.
And when the pressure does get the highest, those championships will be shining the brightest, as whoever will win this obviously will be very, very happy with the performance. And not only that, but that extra bit of prize money is certainly going to be going the distance for them. As a nice, what is it, $20, I think?
Yeah, it's
maybe?
$20 for the winner here.
Yeah, look at that. Got it right off the starter. But I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, we do actually have a little bit of information that I'm actually reading. Apparently, one of these players might actually have a bit of a lag issue potentially, as they did have a bit of a blue screen. So that could definitely play into effect, right? They might have to start off a little bit slower, wait for that lag to start to dissipate if that does end up happening. But we will just have to wait and see, as there is already a bit of a fake out. Ajoshi drops the ball forward, but it is going to be some nice physicality. Hits the ball high, and it will go down. There's now Ajoshi on the back foot, able to steal away some big boost, unable to connect onto the second, as they will be able to hit the ball over towards the opposite side of the pitch. It does just loom forward.
Yeah, it is, and Perscope's already got a good start here. It wasn't too long ago where we had some earlier good news on being announced as part of the team's announced academy roster, so he's playing for them as well in this series. But that's a big first goal. Perscope needed that, and they needed it to be good. That is a great shot, and for Perscope, the kind of start that you need for a player again who is a pretty big underdog in this matchup. You got to set the tone early that you are able to beat Ajoshi, because a lot of players don't think so. It's now an overcommit, and we mentioned before that this could be an issue for Perscope. An overcommit costing them on offense. It gives up a goal the other way. You mentioned earlier about how overcommits can really hurt them here, and Perscope is the player I specifically called out before the match began as someone who is more likely to make these overcommits. Someone who, if Ajoshi plays his cards right, will take goals against because of those kind of plays.
Looking good as they go 1 for 1. Back up to the kickoff. Ajoshi looking to take advantage, starting off well. Perry gonna flip over the car, looking to try and make something happen. It goes back to Ajoshi, who sets up, looking to stage nicely, but Perry will drop it in, as now it goes high, looking to make the connection, but a good 50-50 will deliver it outside to the corner.
Yeah, another overcommit here by Perry. So Ajoshi recognizing that, and one little bit of a zap dash there. If you don't know what a zap dash is, anytime one of these players will go for a speed flip, for a really fast flip, when they recover, you'll see them oftentimes go for an immediate horse dash, an immediate wave dash afterwards. That's called a zap dash, and you're going to see it a lot in these games. These players are very consistent at it. It gives you a little extra burst of speed, and especially in in a battle like this where it comes down to a battle of mere minor lengths, you gotta have that little extra speed. As Perscope's gonna take a goal here, Joshi botching the effort in front of that, couldn't get the power, and now it's their turn to have an overcommit and a botched attack that will result in a goal against.
Working well as Perry will take their second goal, delivering the lead. Joshi now playing from the back foot. We'll see whether or not they are going to be able to return in favor. As does go Joshi's way, looking to snap it right on up. Able to deliver it as Joshi takes the second goal for themselves and finds an equalization once more right off the kickoff.
You mentioned about kickoff strategies. That's a kickoff strat right there from Joshi. That is an intentionally slow kickoff. Players usually will try to flip early in the kickoff so that they can win the ball and get to the ball first. Joshi intentionally there waited. A lot of his kickoffs here are ones where he gets the ball quickly, but usually second best. And the reason why is because he doesn't flip early. And actually, the reason he doesn't flip early is because you'll see right after his kickoffs, he often goes for a wave dash. Because oftentimes in kickoffs, especially at this level, it's not about winning the ball up the kickoff. It's about getting to that boost first, getting to the side of the wall first. And because you don't flip, because you get that wave dash, you get a little extra burst of speed that your opponent doesn't have if they jump early. And that's why Joshi so often off these kickoffs, while he may not get to the ball first, does get to the ball afterwards, does get to the boost first. But right now, he's had a couple of problems on defense. Perscope's done a great job at throwing shots at him and really making Joshi work. And Joshi so far, whether he's been maybe a little slow, maybe a little bit uneasy, has not done a great job at defending.
Pulling it back as Joshi going to still be one step behind, continuously having to play catch up, barely able to maintain equalization as Perry looking to put a 2-goal deficit on the board. Won't happen just yet. Joshi drops him forward. 49 boost, needing to recollect. But as they are going to hit the ball against the wall, Joshi goes for a risky touch and is able to succeed off of it. As now they both go straight up for it into the lion's den you go as Perry drops it forward, looking to run it down, but it is Joshi able to halt it in its place.
One of the things I like about Perry so far, he is always threatening the net no matter what he's doing. He's always letting Joshi know that he's got options, and off of this play, you see it especially. He could have gone for the side boost. He didn't. He immediately went upfield. He didn't go for the boost at all. And even though he doesn't have the boost, he threatens the shot, meaning Joshi's got to go back. But he doesn't. Joshi sort of goes to the back corner. He gives up room to Perscope, and Perscope, he has been lethal so far on the shooting. 4 goals on 6 shots already, and now he goes for a wave dash kickoff. This one will result in a corner boost taken, so he's got room. To the back wall goes Perscope. He'll dribble this one in the net. 5-2. Perscope starting up the series with a bang, and for a player that we sort of wrote off at the beginning of the stream, he is proving you cannot do that to someone who has won an ATS 3 times.
This left corner has been absolutely volatile. As Joshi now losing 2 goals in a row from that location in a 5-2 situation, certainly looking to cement themselves as champions of game number 1. But the ball goes high, hits the backboard off of a nice touch, and good physicality leaves them in a nice spot. Joshi still looking to play the contest, but Perry will break through, looking to bring it right on through as they drop it into net from their own goal. And Joshi certainly going to be feeling the heat now.
Oh, feeling the heat is right. I don't think he was half expecting the game to start off this poorly for him. 6-2 now. And that goal, a little bit of a surprise. I mentioned before how Joshi rarely ever overcommits. He's had a couple this game already. He has definitely been surprised by just how good Perscope has been able to counter him. I don't know if Perscope has taken notes before tonight, but if he is putting them to good use, because Joshi, you don't see him overcommit. You don't see them look this awkward. He looks very, very scared right now of Perscope, and well, that fear factor is going to mean a lot in a match like this, as he'll get bumped. It should be a goal for Joshi, but time's against him at this point. There's only 96 seconds. He needs 3 more goals, and while that's very doable, Perscope is not going to make it easy with how he's been playing so far.
Easy by any means, as it's now 3-6. Joshi making it possible to find the retake to bring this game back on into overtime, or maybe even just end it before getting there, as a minute 35 does loom overhead. Still possible. Perry goes high for it. goes for a bit of a high risk, high reward, as now they're going to drop it in, but they are instantly halted as Joshua will pick it up, looking to twist it right on through, but it hits the steel. It goes on forward. No rebound possible as it goes straight on out. And it's Perscope looking to end it here. Now goes to the right-hand corner as they find the skill right off of the rebound. Phenomenal work from Perry as they're finally going to be looking even better despite Joshi scoring a goal.
Yeah, it is, and that was Joshi thinking he had time to go for the boost, to go for the corner, and Perscope, man, he has done a great job this game to really surprise everyone. He's definitely not, I wouldn't have considered him the favorite in this matchup, and Joshi, while he still has a goal here, is still not giving up. Perscope is doing a great job at getting this lead, keeping the lead, and now playing even to him. That one, though, a bit too much of a risk off the corner. He doesn't exactly have a good 50-50 from that place, and Joshi recognized that Perscope kind of jumped early. Will win the play and get that goal off of it, but time's not his friend anymore. 61 seconds, still down by 3. He'll win the kickoff, but he'll need to make something big happen. To the side wall, Perscope will deny. Joshi, again, as I said, will not want to play in the air too much. He's going to already take it to the floor. And Perscope, waiting, will get the block, and there's been a lot of opportunities here for Joshi this game that have not exactly had great endings to it, and one thing that Perscope has done great at, other than, of course, as I said, his lethal shooting, 7 for 10, this game, has been the fact that he's been able to get out of defense quickly. He's been able to play a fast play upfield, and if he's able to use that speed, he can definitely catch Joshi, though that's a mistake, and an easy goal for Joshi. 28 seconds, and Perscope can't get carried away here. There's still more than enough time for a comeback.
In the ball, able to make a touch, but it won't just be for anything as Joshi will swipe it right on in. Perscope is now going straight on for the kickoff, needing to hold out for 28 seconds. 2 goals must be conceded if Joshi wants to bring it to overtime, and it looks impossible as there is going to be already 10 seconds pushed off the clock.
Perscope looking for one more goal to end this game. We'll get a flip reset too. Joshi missed it. He was expecting a higher touch. I think actually Perscope may have whiffed on the shot at the end of this play, but it won't matter. Joshi going for it, aimed a bit high, and that should end game 1. So for Perscope, a beautiful start to this series. 8-5. 10 seconds to go, but it won't matter for Joshi. Perscope's going to take this one, and a big surprise here. The captain of 100X Knight, a player of Team Silenced Academy, and definitely the underdog this match, has started off this series incredibly. Joshi definitely was caught surprised, and Perscope, I mentioned it, he needs to start well. He needs to be able to put Joshi in a position where he maybe starts to second guess himself. A performance as good as that will definitely achieve that goal.
So it does seem as that certainly will be setting a tone for game number 1 in this whole series to come, as a 5-8 certainly looking phenomenal for Perscope, as 8 goals with 12 shots. I mean, that's insane. That's absurdity, right? On the other hand, you do have a little bit over that 50% shot to goal accuracy, with it being 9 goals or 9 shots, 5 goals. Definitely looking good, but unfortunately just not able to convert as many as they would like, as there was a lot of nice saves for Perscope. Obviously, there was a couple good times, but some of those times were actually resulted with another goal being led. So really good stuff from Perscope. Joshi, possible. I'm not going to say it's impossible because they still put up a good performance, especially towards the start. They were able to keep it 1-1, 2-2. Unfortunately, after that, it did start to get a little bit more out of hand, as they were able to make it 5-2 at one point, which really is unfortunate. You can't be allowing that to happen in any regard, but unfortunately, that just was something that did kind of get conceded. And the snowball just kind of kept leading forward and forward, as it did end up, obviously, 8-5. About to make it 8-6, as the nice air dribble from Joshi worked very well in their favor. But as we do see Joshi now picking up the ball, they're going to look to make a decent air dribble possibly, but it will just be a 50-50 as they bang right on into the opposite car. Now Perry, after that, will take this ball and look to snipe it right on into that.
Yeah, he won't beat Joshi here, but always, again, he's trying to do is catch Joshi on a quick break. He knows Joshi's not exactly the fastest player here. He's not known for that, as a big whiff for Perscope is going to lead to goal 1. Perscope actually had him right there. He pre-jumped that play. He made the right decision, and yet he didn't assume the ball was going to be up as high as it actually did. So he missed his pre-jump. Joshi's going to get goal 1. But again, Perscope not too concerned with how good game 1 looked. He had a bit of a slow start. He has more than enough time to answer back. He'll just need to make sure it happens here. Is a dribble will not exactly go in his favor. He'll win the ball though. And Ajashi with some boost is going to have a second goal out of this one. 2-0 for Ajashi. So already a better start in game 2. They need as good of a start as they can get to really prove not only to themselves but to Perscope this series is anything but easy for the 100x Knight player.
Josh is certainly pulling in all the stops as they're dominating. 30 seconds of all being passed, but Ajashi, despite that, has already selected 2 goals to be found. Now they're going to have another chance for a third, as it will go a little bit too high, unfortunately, for them. Perscope is going to be able to block right on out. The ball goes looming overhead once more, going to be blocked again. And actually a bit of a misplay, perhaps, as now Ajashi's going to have to run for the hills as Perry drops it in, but nice physicality going to be leading to the goal. Perry now shooting it to their own corner. Looking to get the boost, looking to get the block, able to do exactly that, as now they stripe onto the ball, hitting it right onto target, but unfortunately just not enough. Hits it with the top of the hood, and now Ajashi looking to make a 50-50, but it will be hit towards the midfield, and that ball going straight on in, finally putting themselves on the board.
Yeah, and one of the things I mentioned about this series is how jumpy you can get. Ajashi's been quite jumpy. I don't know if he's nervous or not. But Perscope is one of the things that I said about Perscope. This is a guy who really doesn't get that nervous anymore in playoffs. They're very used to this. They've been in this position a lot. Maybe not 1v1s, but in 3v3 they have. And you can tell a lot of their challenges right now are, very simple. They're not risks, they're not taking chances, but they're smart challenges. They're making smart plays. That last goal came from a really great fake challenge. Perscope, again, is making good decisions. You really can't make good decisions unless your mind is in a good spot. And again, they're doing a good job at not letting the pressure get to them, not getting too nervous, recognizing where Ajashi isn't going to play them. So doing a great job at that. Here's a flip reset, will be easily blocked. Ajashi's going to go the other way here, and he's got room for 3-1. Up he goes, resets. Ajashi again keeps it to the floor. A little pop-up play. Perscope gave him a little too much room, and by little I mean a lot of room, and Ajashi will take it.
Ajashi puts themselves back into the lead, bringing a 2-goal deficit. And now Perscope needing to make the comeback, but as it is going to be starting to look back over towards Ajashi as a real playmaker, it becomes a question of how will they be able to secure that equalizer once more.
Ajashi right now needs to play the game of holding this lead with 3 minutes left, but Perscope's going to make it tough. He wins the dribble. It's wide open for Perscope. He'll have one here. He'll keep the pressure on as Ajashi unable to read it. And Perscope more than happy to see the open net. 1 goal away, and every time Perscope scores, he's putting a little bit more pressure on Ajashi. He's letting Ajashi know that if he slips up, this is Perscope's game to win.
Like it. Is Ajashi going to be hit down? Oh, unfortunately, no goal potential for the orange roster, but oh my lord, that block. Pinching it straight out of the net, now goes up to 100 boost, looking to score right here, right now. Ajashi hits the defense, and they will be able to hit the block. Dodging right on into the ball, weaving good when now Perry right back on. Oh, unfortunately, won't be able to make anything happen, however, as their jump got hit off course, but this still could be nice, just not nice enough.
No, I like this physicality. Ajashi's trying to get in the face of Perscope. Sort of a game of who's going to win the physical play, and Ajashi going for a lot more right now. Really trying to see if Perscope can handle everything he's got. Perscope has. Now he needs a goal from this. An early challenge from Ajashi again. He'll be demoted because of this, though. And Perscope with the end of the play set up. They've got a decent angle for a shot, too. They might be looking for a bounce shot. Trying to go early. Ajashi saw it. Perscope still with it. Here's another chance. That one's high. Ajashi, didn't get a good recovery on the back wall. They won't recover well. In fact, Perscope's going to win all this boost. So Ajashi left with nothing, and Perscope almost went back to defense there. He sees that's wide open. That is off the post. A good decision from Perscope. A smart play. They deserved to tie this game up, but the accuracy not there. Ajashi will take this ball back. Put a little more pressure and a goal as well. Perscope needs to go. I don't know why he didn't. That is a wide open play for Ajashi, one that he will have no problem going for. And Perscope can really only blame himself for not keeping it away earlier.
Phenomenal work from Ajashi as they maintain this 2-goal deficit. And Whether or not there's any real opportunity to make the comeback, we will have to wait and see, as 80 seconds are remaining. Joshi winning out on the kickoff, looking to end it here and now, but it will still be blocked. Perry drops in, looking to get high. Nice hit outside, but it will just be Joshi to look to drop it right on through and secure the 5th goal.
Yeah, and Perscope, a bit of an unfortunate play. When he made that initial save, actually got trapped on his post. He got locked to the point where he couldn't even jump off. So a very slow recovery. He didn't have boost. He couldn't go out of his net either to pick up boost pads. That's really going to hurt you here. And Perscope, well, we'll want another one out of this one as a play on the side wall. Will be a little bit of room to work with. Oh, but it's immediately taken away. This should be 6-2. It will be a huge risk for Perscope, and Joshi, by the end of this game, has done a great job at challenging early. He's recognizing that Perscope wants dribbles, but doesn't exactly want Joshi to challenge his dribbles. And Joshi playing exactly to where Perscope doesn't want him. He's had a couple goals right off of Perscope's head. Perscope's going to have to make some adjustments next game to make sure that his dribbles don't become a major weak point for him.
6-2 is certainly looking dominate, as now they're attempting something, able to secure a goal. Perry will be able to make anything happen, but at 46 seconds, how much more can you really ask for? You're gonna have to secure a goal almost every 10 seconds on average, and certainly will not be an easy task in any regards.
Well, they actually only have to score one every 15 seconds if they would like to take their chances with overtime, but that's still not easy. They still need to do well on the kickoff, and this one has not gone well for them. Perscope has not exactly won the kickoff so far tonight, and while they've done a good job of not letting Joshi win from kickoffs, they have not been able to win the kickoffs themselves here. Already, only 30 seconds to go. That's a net to take, but not enough power on it to beat Joshi. And now even more time off the clock. Perscope sort of has to go now. He's not going to win it either. Joshi knew he had to, and that's going to end game number 2 right there. Joshi's going to make it 7-3, and we're going to be going to game 3 in just a moment. But Joshi with a beautiful return, a beautiful comeback, and a beautiful redemption after what was a game 1 that's just could not, in many ways, go well for them in the middle point of the game.
Yeah, we do see the forfeit coming in through game number 2, understanding that at a 4-goal deficit, definitely not the easiest thing to come back through, especially at 20 seconds remaining. As 7-3 being the overall score. Very good work from both individuals, but you look at the firepower Joshua was able to display, it kind of does beg the question that game 1 may have just been a bit of a mistake, right? Now coming into game number 2, they were able to secure a massive lead, coming 7 goals, 13 shots, and 5 saves. Really putting up a masterclass performance by all means.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned it as well here. For Joshi, if he were to win tonight, he would actually make history as well as being the first solo series and would be the only solo series player who isn't also currently playing on a team in the same season. Who isn't also on an org or playing on a team that is playing this season. They wouldn't be the only player to win this season if they were to win. That would not be part of an organization. Nightmare also did that part of the Phoenix Cup, but they're actually on a team. They're on Team Boost as well. So for Joshi, he would be a first that would not have competed this season or been a part of an organization. As for Perscope, again, I mentioned they're on Hunter's Knight and on Team Silence Academy. So they have a couple other things they're focusing on. Specifically for Knight, they're actually still playing in the Sirexis Network's Pinnacle Cup. They're right now in Roundfield Swiss, and they're actually in the second group, meaning that he's also going to think about elimination for Knight as well. If his team were to lose this week, they'd be playing against extraterrestrial Eastern. So if they were to lose, Knight would have their first season where they wouldn't make playoffs. So for Perscope, pressure's on. They've got to perform for Knight, but tonight is 1v1. They've got a lot of things in their minds, and whether it be intentional or not, they've done a good job at not letting that 3v3 action get the better of them.
As we are going to open up, there's the goal, as it is going to be Perry dropping down, finding success, as now the kickoff goes to favor Joshi, hits it straight up into orange territory. 100 boost will be collected, looking to make something happen. Joshi gets the ball hit right above him, as now they're going to have to play cat and mouse. Joshi hits it straight on forward, but it will be hit against the wall. Goes high, hits the backboard, looks to end it, goes a little bit too weak on the touch, as now it'll be straight on in. No opportunity to block that one out, as Joshi will deliver the ball from their net to the opponents.
Yeah, it was a risk versus reward challenge there for Perry to shoot at the net like that, and he didn't get a very good touch on it. An easy goal for a Joshi, a tied game. And for Perscope, a risk that he would probably prefer to have not have taken now that he recognizes it. But for a Joshi, at least, as I said, he can take goals off of overcommits. But Perscope here, not afraid to go again. He's been progressively playing much more aerial-based, a lot more flip resets, a lot more... Well, I haven't seen airdrop bumps, but you'd expect to see a couple more airdrop bumps from him as well. He doesn't mind that, as he's actually missed this one. We'll get back to it in time, but a more aerial-based game for Perscope. Again, he maybe didn't recognize that last game his flicks weren't exactly great for him. This game he's looking to turn things around, change things up, and maybe try to get rid of the weak points. Although, unfortunately for him, getting rid of the dribbles means that Joshi's done exactly what he wants. He's made Perscope a little easier to read. There's less options. His offense isn't nearly as scary on all sides. This is something that actually could favor Joshi in the long run, as Perscope now has a lot less options to work with.
Joshi looking to slide this right on in. Will hit the crossbar, trying to secure it, but it will get held right on out. Joshi still going to try and keep up the aggression, trying to make something happen. Hits up the boost. Goes for the 50-50. No contest, but they will still steal it out. Joshi, no goal in sight, as they are going to have to try and recontest for their own defensive side once more. Hits the 100 boost. Now goes in, trying to keep it up, trying to keep it alive. Goes down, but it will be blocked once more as they keep it going. Keep it fast. Keep it on in. Joshi secures the lead.
Yeah, and that's going to really hurt for Perscope. He has had... His entire game, he has just not been able to get on that front foot. Joshi, especially in the last minute, he has 8 shots this game already compared to 3 from Perscope, and while he's only scored twice, his accuracy hasn't been amazing. When you shoot that many times, eventually you're going to find goals. Perscope, he's got to shut down the Joshi offense. Just said it. Game 1 was a warm-up game for Joshi. This is the real Joshi, and this is sort of what we expect from him. A lot of shots, a lot of offense. They're clinical, they are scary to play against, and they are relentless. And Perscope right now, having to deal with that, needs to find their own offense and needs to shut down the offense of Joshi. One of the two, because if he can't do either, as is right now the task this game, he's going to be in trouble.
There is the equalizer, as Perry will be able to bring this game back into equalization. As whether or not they will be able to keep this alive, that will be the question. Joshi just a little bit too slow on the defense, and it will be that tempo that gives the goal over. And now Joshi back up on their 2 wheels, going straight on in. Unfortunately, the block does come out for them. Unable to collect right now, right here. The ball goes up, looks to find it, not able to slide it in, as decent defense still reigns supreme, as these fundamentals are going to be displayed at the highest level. And a decent block as well. We'll be able to snipe this ball right out of harm's way and go right on in to enemy. Oh, that's so scary, Sporty, as there was barely enough time to block it out.
Well, talk about a lack of fundamentals there. That's a huge whiff for Joshi in the sidewall. I don't know, maybe they're expecting Perscope to challenge them, but even if they would have challenged them, you don't generally need to jump off the wall for that play. Joshi there just gave himself up. That was far too easy for Perscope. And as you said, fundamentals going to be a big task this game. That is not a good display of fundamentals for Joshi, who again is really based entirely on doing the fundamentals well. Perscope, though, will be happy with that. In the lead now here, the 2-time league champion. Looking to keep the pressure on as Joshi will hold on to this one. Challenge to the side wall. Bouncing ball. Double demo, but this won't favor the defender. That is going to be Joshi. As right up the demo spawn, they'll get some boost as well. And they could flick from here too. Perscope's giving them a look at this. Not enough power on it. Perscope will handle it. We've seen players score from that position before. As for Perscope, low boost. Well, the one thing they can't do here is overcommit.
Oh!
They almost did. Fortunately for them, Joshi messed up their wave dash. And with a little over a minute to go, Perscope holding a 1-goal lead, but as you can tell, they clearly don't feel safe with it. They're still going for offense.
Certainly seemed like that was about to be able to slide its way right on into goal. Unfortunately for Joshi, will not be the case, but this 3-2 scoreline, Joshi really gonna have to play to return this, as they were able to find game number 2 in very dominant fashion. Seems as if this game will be a back and forth consistently, however, as Barry dropping in a 3rd one with 40 seconds remaining, going on the defense now, trying to slide it upwards, able to hit it in. Joshi will take a 3rd, looking to bring this even further. 39 seconds If no goals come out, we go overtime. If 2 goals come out from either player, we'll go overtime. But you'd imagine that there's still right about enough time for 1.
Yeah, I definitely feel like this game might have 1 more goal in regulation for it. Here is a fake kickoff from Ajashi. That's not going to work very well for them, but for Scope, he's going to get it. A disaster off the kickoff for Ajashi. A fake, and Perscope immediately put them on the back foot and kept the pressure high. Well, there's the 1 goal we've been talking about. Now will the 2nd goal follow?
I kind of may have jinxed it, because yeah, now there's definitely more than enough time for that 2nd one. Ajashi just needs to be able to find it, and a good kickoff should be able to make that happen. As they drop a shot right on in, Ajashi will deliver it straight off the kickoff and take this to 4-4. This is, I believe, don't quote me on this, the highest scoring game we've had so far tonight.
No, it's not even close.
Oh.
Game 1 was
wow.
8-5, so it's not even close.
Oh, I forgot about 8-5. Wow. You're so right.
Last
And then game 2 we got 4.
This is our lowest scoring game.
Well,
so
oh, wow. You're very. This is the closest. This is. That's.
It's by far the closest, though. You're right about that.
Yeah. That's totally what I meant. Yeah.
Overtime quickly looming here. Joshi might actually wait for him to take the last chance here. Early flick. Try to get the bump on Perscope. It'll go the other way here. And let's see if Perscope has what it takes to keep the ball up at the final moments. 1 last chance of regulation. The bump saved. Joshi got pinned against the crossbar, but it will still stay out. So we have overtime in game number 3, and a big game at that. Series advantage waits, and Ajashi might take it here. It's wide open. It's in. It's Ajashi with game 3.
Trying to go aggressive, but it won't matter. Just going to be forcing Ajashi straight into the best position one could possibly ask for. As Barry was trying to make that defense work by hitting them straight in the hood, it won't matter. Ajashi delivering the final goal to take game number 3, putting them up in the series 1 away now from match point.
Yeah, things have been very close. You said it. This was by far our closest game. Overtime to decide it, and still Ajashi able to keep his fundamentals there. It was an overcommit from Perscope, and one thing that Ajashi's done very well this, I bet we're going to see a couple times next game as well, that a shot of his that has been nearly unstoppable for Perscope. If you notice, it has been a simple pop play. It's one of the earliest shots you learn in 1v1s to do is the simple single or double jump pop. But Ajashi's been doing that a lot, and the reason why a lot of players like to go for that shot is because it's easy to recover from. You're not going to commit nearly as heavily as you do for a flick. It's easy to recover from, it's easy to recognize, and it's also just a good start if you want to fake an air dribble play, so it gives you a good amount of room. Perscope's not been able to defend that kind of shot from Ajashi very easily. We've seen a lot of it from Ajashi. Again, he's been playing a lot of those for Perscope. He's very annoyed to see it, because it happened at least 2 or 3 times this last game. It's happened way more than that the couple games in the games before for Perscope and Ajashi, at least for Perscope. If there's one shot he's going to be paying attention to, it's going to be that single jump pop from Ajashi, because that, so far, has not failed.
Certainly looking rough if you are going to be Perry. Is that last goal getting conceded? Certainly a tragedy, to say the least, Sporties. Now, we get straight on in. Ajashi already being put on the defense, but they're going to be able to instantly turn that around as they go for a bit of a fake out, looking to hit the opposite side of the pitch, and hits it against the backboard, looking to end it. Able to do it as the first goal gets conceded and takes it down. Ajashi will be able to put it in from the right-hand corner.
Yeah, and in so many situations we see players not have the time to shoot those shots, but Ajashi, not only does he get the goal, but he makes it easy too. That is a fast transition from the midfield to the offense. So very well done from Ajashi, quickly done, quickly moving, and now they're going to lose the kickoff here. So again, we've seen an even kickoff play so far. No one's been able to really win on kickoffs, and that's one of the reasons why this series has been as close as it was and why last game was as close as it was, because no one's winning the kickoff. And I mean, I'm sure you've noticed this as well in our previous solo series championships, but generally whoever wins kickoff wins the series, and at least wins games, and because it's been even, so too has the scoreline.
That tends to be the cases. We'll see whether or not that will continue. Ajashi, of course, putting up a masterclass performance, but instantly gets neutralized as Perry drops them in for one of their own goals. Able to find the boost. Still 0 at Perry. They are going to be able to recollect, however. Now goes high, looks to try and make something this very risky play, and it will be snatched right on out, as now the defense still remains, getting the boost. Hey, Josh, he's still going to have to try and contest and will be able to knock the ball off course, redirecting it over towards center. Perry looks to hit it in. It will go out as Joshi barely able to keep up the tempo.
Yeah, no, that was a tough play to make there for Joshi, but they're able to do it here. As now they'll keep the play moving. Dribble, fake, Joshi, high flick. That's going to go just wide. A follow-up. It's another single jump pop. That one denied by Perscope as the shot not fast enough. Again, you're seeing Joshi go back to those reliable plays. He's gonna miss the net. It was wide open for him. And Perscope hustling back, didn't give up on the play. He's gonna get a goal out of this one. I mean, you always hear your coach tell you to never give up on the play. That's exactly why. Perscope didn't stop moving even when he was beat. Just for the chance that Joshi would miss it. And he gets rewarded with a great hustle back to the net.
Phenomenal from Perry as they've been able to force down the second goal. After Joshi scored the first, they come back, steal away the lead. As now going high, looking to find it, hits it more downwards, goes high, gets it down! As Joshi now gonna have to deal with a 2-goal deficit off of a masterclass performance, mid-air dominance as they dance around this goal and secure their third.
Yeah, it just continues to get a little bit more interesting here. Perscope, though, looking to deny any hope for Joshi to take a match point this early, and what would guarantee as well a series to go 6 games. But with the way that things are going, Joshi, I'm sure, feeling a little bit more nervous as Perscope flicks it, easily kept away by Joshi. Still Perscope. Gotta be careful though, he might get demoed as he is a bit slow to get back. He'll keep it though. Running with the ball is Perscope. Joshi easily blocked, but that's not a good first touch. He'll get back to it though, a clutch block, and this is going to be 4-1 as Perscope was left to hang out to dry by his own defense, but he still gets back to it in time.
Fitted game number 2. Now it seems as if Joshi will be the one possibly in that situation, as this has been consistent scoring ever since the first goal of the game. It's been 4 now strung together, and they've been looking phenomenal each and every time.
Right now for Perscope, things are falling in his favor, but for Joshi, it has definitely gotten a little bit tougher for them here as Perscope. Joshi, will he keep the ball? Still half the game left here, and Perscope has only been able to amass a 3-goal lead that we've seen people come back from that before, and Joshi starting with an air drill bump. Perscope didn't like that play so much, but considering Joshi has gone for so many single jump pops now, he knows that Perscope has to respect where he is, and that gives you a lot of room to work with, and when you have that kind of space, an air drill bump is a very easy option.
Putting up a decent performance, but Joshi now looking to climb on back. Ripping to this ball, trying their best to make anything happen. But as it will be Perscope, who's still on a decent performance, looking to make a shot from anywhere on target. Joshi on the other side, barely getting blocked out once more as the good defense does come in right when needed. There's now Joshi gonna have to deal with the ball getting bumped upwards. Still though, looking good. Whether or not they'll be able to maintain this, whether or not they'll be able to keep this up, it barely gets on out. Joshi takes it upwards, looking nice. Ooh. Gonna peek it upwards, looking to try and deliver this finale, but Perry sticking to the midfield, going to be trying to make some physicality work. Not well enough though, as it stays mid. Perry, very rough situation for Joshi to be in as this time does linger, but they barely deliver this ball outside of the net.
Yeah, I love what Perscope's doing here on time wasting. They're prioritizing 50-50s and they're prioritizing shots on that blue net. That combination means that Josh is going to be very low on boost, and Perscope is going to have a lot of time take off the clock. At this point in the game, that's exactly what Perscope wants. He wants Joshi to panic. He wants Joshi to think that there's less time, and he wants to keep the offense going. He would love a 5th goal here, and he might just have it right now. There's nothing stopping him. 5-2 with 51 seconds to go. Perscope has showcased a masterclass in how to waste the clock.
They are doing exactly that. Now 3 goals required. Hey, Joshi needing to put out a miracle if they want to be able to bring this back. And they've been good on their early kickoffs. But this time, different story. It'll be per scope shooting right on target, extending this lead to 4.
And taking the game as well, Joshi has called it. So 6-2 to end this game. And it will be, well, for a Joshi now, a 2-2 tied series. So our first time in this in the solo series or grand finals will go longer than 5 games, and a tied series. And for a Joshi, I'm sure a little bit more nervous now. Last time he was in a 1v1 championship actually was on my personal stream back in the individual performance series. That actually was the league that led into the ATS solo series. And it was the first time I got to see A. Joshi. He went all the way to the grand finals and that lost in the grand finals in game 6. So if anything, it would be battling in his mind that may be hurting him here, it would be that last loss in the individual performance series. He's essentially been chasing that victory the entirety of this season. And now that he's in the grand finals again, does that IPS loss start to kind of get the better of him here?
Question is, you'd imagine that it seems to be the answer being yes. As of right now, it has been a complete masterclass for Perry as they took 6 goals, 11 shots, and that over 50% shot to goal conversion is really, really nice. As one has to imagine that that is not an easy feat in any regard. On the other side, however, it was a Joshi just kind of putting their head against the wall and trying to make something work, but unfortunately just unable to really make those conversions as it was just really, really dominant, right? As we look towards what was kind of happening, whether or not that will continue. Now they are certainly at 2-2, and it's equalized once more. Now we're going into what would basically become a best of 3. We'll see who's able to take it.
Yeah, I mean, we got guaranteed at least to see Neo Tokyo. Champions Field, definitely a real possibility here. And for Perscope and Joshi, it's match point to be determined. And Perscope has already started well. Joshi came out way worse than that 50-50. And again, I love what Perscope's doing. This is kind of the stuff that he did at the end of last game. He's continuing to use it. He's continuing to get rewarded. And Joshi, I think, is continuing to get frustrated because this is a player who, coming into this matchup, was definitely the underdog and is really bringing the fight to the favorites.
Doubt it has been rough as now the ball will linger in blue territory as a Joshi going to be smacked right on the other side. The ball delivered right on into net and no contest possible. Perry will drop a second as Perscope is absolutely forcing this game to the brink.
Yeah, and I love it. A bump on the back wall. We haven't seen too many demos and bump plays from these players. They've sort of kept their distance from each other, but I expect to see a good amount of them, especially as this series continues to still be a threat. These are, again, this is 1v1s after all, and those demos can make the difference. There's another shot gone wide for Joshi, and Perscope flying down to it. Will be there as Joshi early challenge. This one's wide. He almost gave himself up on that too. Perscope's gonna get the ball and the boost, and now he's got the ceiling. Up he goes. He's got an extra jump, so he can use it. Flick. Oh, he's faked it, and it's gonna roll in. No, it hit the crossbar, and Joshi got the save. A big chance for Perscope. I'm surprised he doesn't just put it in there, but he'll go again. And look at this, returning the shot to Joshi, a little bit of his own medicine given to him. A double jump pop, and Joshi now has to watch as his own shot is thrown against him.
It's phenomenal work as Joshi getting completely dismantled in game number 5. We saw the forfeit come out last time. And Joshi certainly does not seem to have the mental resilience required to be able to make the comeback. Trying to hit it right on in! The double bounce is insane as they're able to go right on above and just take that ball. That was mechanical brilliance.
Yeah, it was, and it was sneaky too. Joshi never expected a Doomsday Dish in that play, but that's why it worked so well. Perscope went for it. Why not? You have nothing to lose at this point. Things have been going so well for you. You aren't too concerned. And now he might get another one out of this place too, because Joshi doesn't have the boost. It will be Perscope up to the ceiling. Will win this one. Joshi, who didn't get there in time, will watch as it's a 5th goal straight. This has been an absolute collapse for Joshi, and at the worst time possible, because match points on the line. If you want any game to win, it would be this one.
Certainly seems as if Perscope is on an absolute tear that will not be denied. How on earth can you expect the comeback to be made? 5 goals without any contesting. it's certainly going to have to take a miracle. But the defense looks nice. Joshi now forced to reconcile. And now as they go back, able to hit on the boost. Will go back. Scope is going to be hit with a demo. And they will finally be able to deliver their first. Joshi going to be able to make something happen out of nothing.
Yeah, that is really going to be painful for Scope, but Joshi's not going to be too unhappy with that. They need goals, and you said it, a miracle. I wouldn't say a miracle, but definitely they'll need a solid second half to this game, one that they couldn't find in the first half. As now Joshi again, dribble, plate, flip, reset. They do have it, they won't need it. Oh my goodness, though. How on earth does Perscope get to that? It's a clutch effort on the goal line, and now he'll stay with this thing. No goals from that play from Joshi. Look at another chance as well. That flick will work, so it is a second goal for Joshi. I'm sure they would have liked their first shot to go in, but the second one will do.
Some of these notorious shots have been nice, and that's exactly what you're going to need. And you're going to need these very, very consistently. If you want to be able to find a championship tonight, you need to be able to mount this comeback here and now, or else you give your opposition of Perscope that 2-game leeway, 2 opportunities to be able to make that chance go their way. But the rebound off of the metal delivers it straight onto net.
And now things have got to get really concerning for Perscope. Your massive lead is no more. And now they've got to fight for this thing. And Joshi's done this, by the way, in the span of like 40 seconds. This has been a quick return. And now they're going to get another one up the kickoff. Perscope's got to get back. They'll do just that, but without a lot of boost, they cannot challenge. And Joshi, knowing that, goes up. Dribble. The bump won't have this one. Perscope will evade. And now he's got the ball as well and the boost. Joshi going for the bump, won't get any of it. And Perscope, another double jump pop. Another one of these. He did one earlier, he'll do one again, reestablishing a free goal advantage.
Which is climbing, as Joshi seemed to have been able to put a little bit of a hold on it, as despite being up 5-0, they were able to deliver 3 of their own and really turn this game around. But now we will finally see Perscope taking it back into their favor. Joshi, 3 goals, looking to make it a 4th, looking to end it here and now as we do hit the halfway mark. Oh, the ball will be hit straight overhead. So now there is going to need this opportunity, but they're able to make something happen possibly. Oh, phenomenal work from Perscope to be able to stay on their toes, making sure that they're not out of the... Oh, you can't allow that. Joshi stealing it, a burglar in the night as they capitalize on this ball that's getting dribbled right above the hood.
Yeah, and Perscope got caught doing that earlier this series. I'm surprised he's gone back to it because it didn't work before. He stopped doing it as well, not too long ago. Surprised he brings it back, but boy, that was bad timing and bad placement. And now, Joshi can get another one. Perscope's got to get back. He doesn't have boost right now, so Joshi can do everything that he wants. Oh, but not so quickly. He'll instead play the 50-50. Perscope's back. Joshi. Dribble. Flick! Has another one. Perscope's not been able to deny him. Whenever Perscope gets on low boost, he has been beaten by Joshi almost every single time. And what was a 5-goal lead for Perscope now is only 1 with little under 2 minutes left.
Joshi delivering their 5th, making this game back into a reality check for Perscope. Is now that 5-goal lead completely decimated, all but equalized. Joshi looking to hit it here and now, but it will be a nice hit from Perscope, who's going to go for a second touch, unable to make that one connect to the goal. It still goes to the hands of Joshi. They go further up, able to go for high risk, high reward once more, looking to get it down and dusted, trying to drive it straight on in, but unfortunately too tight of an angle required.
When it comes to games as close as these, it's not about how you start, it's about how you end them right now. And, I mean, for both these players, there's still a lot of time to prove that you are the better player. So it really comes down to the question of who's going to end this game, who's going to be the one to play better in the last minute. Only 1 goal to separate them, but that may not stand for very long. Joshi still has it, but Perscope, he's overcommits. He's got to get back quickly. He won't. It's a tied game. Joshi won't miss from there.
And when you look at these players, any real mistake will be pounced upon. and it will be seen once more as it's 50 seconds remaining. And now there's no lead, there's no advantage. It's just a basic game of Rocket League. And this game, match point on the line. Both these two individuals certainly going to be looking to play their hearts out.
Yeah, and a kickoff goal. Joshi went back to the fast kickoff, and this one will catch Perscope, who tried to win this thing. I think he was expecting another slow kickoff from Joshi, and one that didn't come. 45 seconds now. And, well, you have to think for Perscope at this point that if he doesn't win this game, he may not have a chance to win this series. Things have not been going well for him. That shot's high, though. Joshi will win the boost, but any one giveaway, and you know Perscope can go the entire length of the field. He might have a chance here. Kept to the side. Dribbled. Taken to the air. Perscope likes to be up here, but he doesn't really have an angle to shoot at. He'll wait instead. That's not a great touch. Easily for Joshi, and he might just waste all the time that's left. He doesn't have to push this. Perscope does. That shot's high. Perscope again. Won't be able to bump him out. He'll have to keep it. Demoed out of the way by Joshi. You said it. This will end the game. 8-6. Perscope needed to take an opportunity. He won't get it. With 4 seconds left, he calls it, although it doesn't really matter. This game is Joshi's, and so is match point.
Match point found as Joshi will be able to find a comeback from down 0-5 at 3 minutes remaining. They come back, take game number 5, 8-6. In the very end, it will be Joshi to find match point. 2 chances now to be able to secure this game, to secure this series, and find a victory.
Yeah, victory again that we mentioned before. They couldn't find in their last 1v1 championship. Joshi is on a moment here, and I mean, reminder that I didn't think I mentioned as well his last 1v1 championship that he lost, but he lost in Game 6. So you know, this feels maybe like the fates are lining up for him here. He's back in Game 6 where he lost his last 1v1 championship, actually against Ness. Interestingly enough, who didn't even make playoffs this season in the Pinnacle Cup. Joshi now can try to rewrite his own history, win an ATS. For Perscope, trying to chase his 4th ATS championship, his 3rd league championship, to be the winningest player in the Ascent Tournament series. He'll need to win 2 games in a row to make that possible, but with what we've seen already from Perscope, all he needs is a really good start and a dominant game, and who knows, the whole storyline can be flipped around.
It's going to come down to this 6th and potentially final game, as the winner of this will either go on to be able to make us head up to the Champions Field, or just head up to the championship and win out the Ascent Tournament Series in the Pinnacle, the highest division of Rocket League in the ATS. As now we head straight off on the kickoff. Perry delivering a bit of a defense, well and done. Joshi not looking to try and allow it, but this defense is going to be nice as they drop the physicality into play and are able to now just completely push this up. But Perry going to go for the air dribble, looking to find something, but it instantly gets snatched away.
Joshi just needs a good start. He needs a good, strong game here. Well, it's another good start. That's a great flick, but Perscope gets to it. Second efforts will also be denied, and Perscope's going to get the boost out of this one, too. Demoed away by Joshi, and actually, he doesn't even get the boost from this, so Joshi's going to score. He took the boost, he took the life of Barry, and he takes the lead in Game 6.
Phenomenal work coming on in from Joshi, as they've been able to secure the opening goal. Last time, obviously, this did not go their way, but this time it certainly seems as if they have been able to revitalize themselves 39 seconds into the matchup, and they're already pulling out all the stops. We do get to see the kickoff go the way of Perscope, and now making something happen. Won't be able to make a nice shot on target, unfortunately, as it will just go the distance to the corner. And now it gets right back into the hands of Perscope. It's not good. It's not great. It gets stolen back once more. But that could have just done it.
I'm speechless. What a fake from Perscope. That is a gutsy call. Because if Joshi actually gets the ball there, he's got that one. He wins the challenge. He probably takes the boost as well, and he keeps the offense going. A gutsy play call from Perscope, but hey, it works. That's the kind of stuff that you expect a player of his caliber and his mentality to do. And hey, he's keeping this game close. He knows he's not exactly been the best when these games get close. He knows last game he had a perfect start that he couldn't win from. This is where you gotta perform, but a pinch. What a play. What a strike. And a Joshi with a huge 2-1 advantage.
That will do it. A Joshi will deliver this ball straight into net. They make it work in their favor, finding the advantage once more, and Perry needing to try and get something done, but hey, Joshi will win off on the kickoff once. Oh, never mind, they're going to concede it. Looking to play the defense, hits the 100 on the boost. Now going to try and concede some time, looking to play a little bit slower by the looks of it, as they're able to win out, and that'll do it. It'll go. Oh, unfortunately, it's going to go a little bit too short, unable to make it, but they still are buying time, slowing down Perry, not allowing them to be able to move past their car, changing the landscape. But as of now, a Joshi, oh, gonna still have to play the defense. That could have been good, and it will be. The third goal gets found as they pounce right off of the mistake.
Yeah, that's overcommit for Scope, and a big one at that. Another aerial solo play, and one thing that has been consistent about Scope's aerial solo plays is that they've used all of their boosts on them. They're all in or bust, and the problem with that is a huge risk. If your solo plays aren't perfect on their first shot, and you use all your boost, that's a free goal for your opponent. And Perscope, I mean, he knows how good Ajoshi's defense is. He's still going for this sort of all-in play. It has not worked for him, though. Ajoshi's been able to score off of it, and now with a 2-goal lead, things are going to get very tough now for the next night captain.
Oh, what a flick. Oh, Perry looking to drive it in, able to secure their second goal of game number 6. Joshi still with a 1-goal deficit, and they were trying to look to play a little bit on slower and capitalize on mistakes more than try and create opportunities for themselves, and it seems as if that has caused an issue.
Still 3 minutes to go, and still a lot to play for here, but for Joshi, championship resting on him if he can win this game. You mentioned before that we could be adventuring to Game 7 or the Champions Podium. Joshi might be adventuring towards the orange net here. Perscope playing close to fire. Oh, he gets to it. Follow Joshi. Low boost for all players. Here's his flick. Perry's going to get to this one easily. Still without a lot of boost to work with. He'll need to make yet another block. Oh, not a great first touch from Joshi. He'll keep it going low. To the corner. Perscope needs this ball. He'll need the boost even more, though. Now he's left. It's wide open. Perscope left. He went the wrong direction. Instead of going to the net, he went to the back corner. Maybe the boost respawned and he was looking at it, but Joshi's the bigger threat there, and Perscope doesn't give him the respect he deserves.
That might just do it. Joshi keeping the goal lead in their favor. As Perscope looking to make the kickoff work. Very fast, very volatile, but it will go the way of Joshi, who's able to poach. Maybe not for long, but they do still keep it in their hands. Looking to steal the boost, but it will be given one over, giving a little bit of leeway. Perscope, oh, they're going in, and the defense a little bit too slow, a little bit too hesitating, as Joshi will deliver their 5th goal and find it under 2 minutes remaining. Phenomenal work from them. As it's just sad. Perscope, unfortunately, just unable to keep this alive.
They'll need a huge resurgence in these last 2 minutes if we are to see Game 7. And, you know, if Perscope starts to get desperate, we might see even more goals for Josh. It could just get worse as this game continues. But all Joshi's got to do now is just keep things going and keep the status quo. He's right now the better player of the two, but Perscope needs an answer, and he'll need one sooner rather than later. Boost and ball. He'll have the corner as well. He'll actually leave it, and he'll flick instead. Well, he didn't need the boost at all. That is a rocket under the crossbar, and Joshi watching it all the way. He didn't even jump because that shot was powerful and was true.
Be allowing that. Now it's all up to Josh to maintain the lead. Perry on the other side. Perscope needs to be able to keep this game into their hands if they want to be able to make the Game 7 go to Champions Field. It's here. It's now. That's a good one. That's a shot on target. And there's no... Oh, never mind. Now they're going to look to make it happen as they find the rebound and deliver it right into net.
It's a 1-goal difference. And you said it as well. That first shot on just a little bit off the post. It actually was registered as on target, but the follow-up has no doubt about it. And here we go. 1 goal away from a tied game for Perscope, considering he had to watch Joshi beat him in a big comeback late last game. And it might feel pretty exhilarating for him here to potentially have one of his own. Although this one proving to be one that's going to be very taxing for him at the end of this game. He'll need to win the challenge here. Joshi forced back. He'll keep the ball, but Perscope, more importantly, gets the boost out of that play.
Oh, that
goes easy block. Will hold the corner. Joshi looking for the bump, won't have it. Time running out for Perscope, but all he needs is one good chance, one good play. Joshi's gonna win this one. Another play, up to the air he goes. Joshi's, I think, might be looking to play the ground. He'll keep it up. Ceiling shot, denied. Perscope bumped off the post, but he'll get to it, and now it's a race to the net. Perscope, he shoots. No, he won't. He'll stay back instead. Joshi still doesn't have boost. He'll eventually get some here out of this play, but it's Perscope who has the ball, has the chance he'll need to make it happen. He shoots this one. It doesn't get through Joshi, although he was caught napping. Now Perscope missed. Joshi will shoot again. It will be in, and Perscope has left the lobby there. Joshi holds out. And as these last 5 seconds will tick off the clock eventually, it is championship for Joshi. What he couldn't do in the individual performance series, he will do here in the solo series, the Ascent Tournament series.
The championship goes the way of Joshi as they find victory. Game 6 finds its ending as they take a 4-2 victory, secure the Pinnacle Cup. Sporty, phenomenal work. This was absolute cinema. The final championship in the solo series, and it will be the one that goes the distance, goes the longest, and I had so much fun with you on the desk.
No, it has been a fun time, and yeah, 6 games, our longest grand finals of the solo series. Joshi able to get the job done in 6 games as well. That is sort of I'm sure for Joshi, a very big relief to this season. Again, he couldn't do it in the grand finals of the individual performance series in their last season, but he does it here in ATS. He does it in Game 6, and he does it against Perscope, who, again, mind you, has already won in ATS 3 times, so he had to do it against a seasoned veteran. That is a huge win for Joshi, and one that, I mean, credit where it's due for Perscope. He kept it close, but one where Joshi really did put his head down, play fundamentals, play his game plan, and just outplay Perscope by the end of this. He was able to win based on fundamentals.
They looked phenomenal while doing exactly that. I mean, how on earth do you even come back from that? And yeah, it is, as you said, right? This player, they had so much riding on them. They were the favorites coming into this matchup, but it seemed as if this was going to go the distance. When we saw that 5-0 lead taking place in game number 5, I was certain that this was going to be a big, important game that would go to 7 maps, that would go to be a phenomenal thing. But now they fell short in the end, as it was a 6-goal comeback to be able to take that victory. And it was 8-6, and then they found their victor. Unfortunately, Perry drops down after having such a strong bracket, taking down Renzo, taking down Slasher KJR. Unfortunately, when it comes to the grand finals, that's when the firepower does get the greatest on your opposition, and it certainly seemed that way.
Yeah, congrats to Josh. You really had to work for this victory, as you said it. Perscope's at a tough bracket, but so does Joshi. Slayer, Ant, and Perry are all very good players. And for Joshi, I'm sure for them, a very big victory. But, Cherry, that ends the ATS solo series. So, our 1v1 league has hit its end, and our 6 champions are now confirmed. From the Ember Cup, it is Draco. For Ascension, it's Xenu. Catalyst is Zanestar. Phoenix Cup is Nightmare. Apex Cup is Chip. And, of course, the Pinnacle Cup now confirmed is Joshi. 6 champions, 6 winners. And what a season it has been. The highs and lows, I'm sure, have been a lot to handle for all these players, but it has been a great season, a great tournament, and a great end of it. But, of course, this isn't it for ATS. We have a lot more action to go in the future. February 1st, the start of next month, is our Solus Path Phoenix Cup. That's our 33 Phoenix Cup. That'll be concluding then. And then the big one, February 6th and the 7th, the Friday and Saturday after that, is our Siraxis Networks Inc. Pinnacle Cup. So for players like Perscope, their season's not done. They still get to play. They might be here in the top 8. But for us here in the solo series, that is all. Thank you so much for joining us from last Saturday and Sunday to tonight and here Thursday evening. Again, it's myself, CherryJ, Nick, and CS behind us in the booth. And of course, a big thank you to the rest of the Ascent Tournament Series staff members who've been making this possible, and to our sponsors as well. I'm Spuddy OC, and from ATS, thank you so much for joining us and watching the solo series. We'll be back February 1st with the Phoenix Cup Championship.